The engine is coming apart. Got the valve covers off, push rods out, loosening the head bolts. We're going to have the heads off pretty soon. See what the cylinders look like. So I'll keep at it. Well, I'm back at the 327 for a Corvette. This is just bits and pieces of video I'm doing on what we're doing on the car. I'm going to show you a little bit more about the engine. I have one piston out of it. As you can see, it's got domed pistons. This engine was purchased for the car a few years back. I might be 6 or 7 already, I'm not sure. And it's obvious, I'll be showing you, but it's obviously a very low mileage engine because it's original bore, original journals on the crank, and the bores show very little wear. If you come in here, you can see where the rings stop, but you can't even feel it with your fingernail. So there's very, very, very little wear in those cylinders. And if they all check out, we're just going to re-ring it and clean it all up and put it back together. I'm going to pull one of the lifters out and show that to you. Now here's one of the lifters. No discernible wear whatsoever. I mean, they could have been replaced at one time, but everything on this engine is pointing to very, very low mileage. As I say, it hasn't been bored and the crank hasn't been ground, so everything's adding up to original with low mileage, which would be almost hard to believe. It's somewhere between a 62 and 65 327. I'm going to show you one of the bearings. Yet I know this engine has been apart because all the rods are numbered. But that rod bearing looks, I mean, you can see a little bit on it, but the throw and the bearing looks very good. I'm going to plastic gauge it, see what it shows to be that way. Now the first attempt shows to be 1,000s, which is only, it needs to have twice that much clearance. But that may have been pulling the rod up tight against the crank and squeezed it more than it should have. So I'm going to do it again. Now I turned the crank, so I made sure the crank had pressure down on the rod good. And I plastic gauged it again. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it. Wait for it to focus. It lines right up with the 2000s, which it should be for a 2-inch journal. So like again, it shows no wear whatsoever. That's really measurable at all. At least with my measuring devices. There it's focused a little better, 2000s. Another sign that it's original is you see the GM in the bottom of the piston there. So I'm just flabbergasted that this has to be it has to be a super low mile engine from original. So I'm going to keep at it, taking pistons out. Once again, I plastic gauge it. And it's 2000s right on the head. So it's looking good. Next, I want to figure out what the lift on the camshaft is. Well, I set up my dial indicator for checking the cam, and I come up with 270 on the camshaft, so a 1.5 to 1 rocker arm ratio, which I believe it is, it'd be like a 4.1 valve lift. I don't know if I have this all correct. I had to do some checking, but that's about all it's going to be for today. It's just bits and pieces as how I go along helping my stepson with his Corvette project. And I'll keep you posted. And also, in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be something pretty big happening for me with my channel. It has to do with doing a collaboration with actually 2 other YouTubers. But I'll let you hang yet about where that's going to be. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.